Welcome to another episode of Chopstick Travel. I'm Luke.
And I'm Sabrina.
And today we have another exciting episode for you from the Philippines. But if you didn't check out the previous episode, hit the link down in the description box. We took you for the most epic lechon feast ever. So you can see behind me here, the lechon is roasting away. They've got it sort of on a spit of bamboo. So just one stalk of bamboo. And this guy right here is roasting away. It's quite hot here. Pretty incredible. Pretty traditional style too. So today we are in Marikina City, Metro Manila. We're meeting up with our friend Khee, FoodieMommaPH once again. This is her hometown and she's gonna be showing us around. It's bright and early, so we're going for a breakfast tour and we are super hungry, so let's go. What's up?
Hey, what's up? Good morning, guys.
So we're gonna be having a food tour today?
Yep.
This is your hometown?
Yep, Marikina.
And you operate some food tours here, right?
Yep, Foodie Mama Tours. You can book it anytime from today.
Hungry?
I'm super hungry. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. This is our first stop today here behind me. Khee says we are going to be having some beef stew and it is completely packed, only about 7:30 a.m. so a really popular place. It says it's open 24 hours too, so I'm excited to try it. I'm really hungry. So what are we eating for breakfast here, Khee?
So this is beef pares, one of our staple breakfast dishes. It's a braised beef stew, and pares means pears, so it should be paired with garlic rice and beef soup. And also, don't forget the chili garlic.
Wow, it looks and smells really, really good.
Yep, it is.
Okay, it's time to eat. I'm gonna start by squeezing my calamansi juice here into my sauce. This is like chili with garlic sauce. And this looks like some seriously tender beef here. So I'm gonna grab myself a piece of beef and dip it in a little bit of sauce. And then we've got to pair it with the garlic rice. So there's like fried garlic. Looks like a little bit of egg too, and then some green onions. Let's try that. Oh yeah. Wow, that is super satisfying. A lot of different flavors going on there. The beef itself, it's a little bit sweet and a little bit sour. It's really coated in that sauce and extremely tender. A little bit of spice from that chili oil. And then the garlic on that rice is fried to like a crisp, so it's got a crunch to it. All the flavors and the textures really contrast each other, and really cool atmosphere sitting right on the side of the road, bar side here. Let's go in for one more bite. Just check out this beef. It is ridiculously tender. Just pull it apart with my spoon. Oh man, a little dip. And then some rice. Oh man. The only thing I haven't tried here is this beef soup. It looks like a thin layer of oil on the top, but very plain. Let's try that. Oh yeah, no, it's not salty at all actually. It's very, very light. Just a slight beefy flavor. Oh, this is a satisfying breakfast. That was a really good breakfast. Really interesting dish, pares. It almost reminds me of Japanese style curry, but it's really, really garlicky and a little bit salty. So we're just moving right along to our next location. What's going on here?
So right now we're trying to book ourselves a little, I think they call them auto cars here. They're kind of like a little tuk-tuk or auto rickshaw. And Khee assures us that 3 of us can fit in, so this should be really interesting. She's trying to negotiate a price right now.
How are we supposed to fit in here?
I'm gonna sit.
This is definitely the smallest form of taxi or anything that I've ever been in, especially with 3 of us. Pretty claustrophobic in there, but that's okay. So now I guess we're at a shoe factory. I don't really know what to expect to see here, but Khee wanted to bring us here. So we are inside the factory now. It's just this massive warehouse with all the different stations building the shoes. It's actually quite a clean factory. The workers seem like they're happy, and Marikina is famous for their shoe making. Khee was telling us that Marikina produces 70% of all the shoes in the Philippines. Pretty cool. So I think now we're going to head to check out a shop that sells these shoes. So we're just checking out the actual store that sells the shoes now. Pretty cool to see the process of how they're made and then on the shelf to buy. So we're getting a little hungry. I think we're gonna go to our next little restaurant. So we're at this really cool kind of laid back local restaurant, and we've got a dish that I've been really excited to try called Goto. So you can see it here. It's sort of like a rice porridge, and then this one has beef in it, and there should be some, yeah, beef blood as well. So it looks like maybe some fried garlic on top, and I can smell a lot of ginger coming from that, and it's served nice and piping hot. On the side over here, we've got a mixture of crispy pork belly, so you can see that super crispy pork belly there, with some onions and then also some fried tofu, and it's sort of swimming in what looks to be like a soy sauce, maybe with some vinegar. This looks really good, so let's dig in. Oh, yum. It's a little bit salty, gingery, and the rice has a really nice texture. The rice is very, very soft. There's a little bit of a kick to some spice there too. That is really good. Let's go in and find a piece of beef here. I'm gonna try the beef with some of it. It's got a lot more flavor than congee. It's very, very flavorful and very gingery. Okay, I gotta try this side dish. This dish looks really, really good. So I'm gonna get some of that crispy pork belly and then some of the tofu too. Wow, that is extremely crunchy. The skin of that fried pork belly is like a chip, and also that fried tofu is quite crunchy as well. So it's a nice contrast to the really smooth and soft Goto. Actually, this is really, really good, and just such a humble little restaurant that we're sitting in, serving some seriously delicious food. That's just so comforting, home cooked tasting. Wow. So we have another dish. This is really interesting looking. This one is called palabok. So it's this sauce, which is a shrimp sauce, and underneath here there are some rice noodles. So you can see those rice noodles. On top we've got some of that crispy pork belly that has been kind of crumbled, a piece of an egg, and some cabbage. We've also got some calamansi, which I'll squeeze a little bit of on top here. And let me just kind of like mix this up a little bit. I've never seen anything quite like this actually. This is very unique, vibrant orange color. Not sure if it's gonna be very strong on the shrimp flavor or what, but let's try. I can't even really taste the shrimp in there at all. It's actually very subtle flavor. It looks like it's gonna be almost overpowering with all that sauce, but it's just a little bit sweet. I can definitely taste that calamansi and then little crunchy bits from that fried pork belly. Actually, that is really good. And it's not served like piping hot, but it's not cold either, just room temperature. It's actually really, almost like a refreshing noodle salad. That was really interesting. Finish off with the Goto. I'd have to say that I think that's my new favorite Filipino dish. That is seriously good. I can picture myself having that for breakfast like every morning. And then with that side dish of the fried pork belly with the fried tofu, nice and crunchy and soft, just a perfect combination. Really like hearty and it's warming comfort food. Wow, that was really, really awesome, and super friendly owners and so cheap. Just really good. So apparently the next place we're going is literally next door, so we're almost there.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we're at this place called Mama Ting's. It's a takeout restaurant only, and we have their specialty, I think is the only thing they sell, and that's like a stuffed milkfish. I don't really know what to expect, but also it comes with these pickles here. So looks like some carrots, onions, maybe some other stuff in there. And it smells kind of spicy actually. It's quite a large box, and oh yeah, Look at that. So you can see, it looks like a full fish in here. If I can kind of slide it out without breaking it. Oh yeah, look at that. It is just a full milkfish. And this has been stuffed with something, I'm not exactly sure, but let me break into the side here and try to get a bite. Okay. And then I'm gonna also grab some pickles down here and put them on top. Let's try that. It's really interesting. It has like a natural sweetness to it. The pickles are crunchy, but the fish itself is really soft. It's not what I was expecting at all. You can kind of see here, if I pull it apart a little bit more, that it's actually almost like a meatloaf, but it's like a fish meatloaf. It's all right. It's not my favorite. The flavor is quite strong and fishy. Let's go for one more bite. The texture is really interesting. It is similar to a meatloaf, so I don't know if they're putting some flour or something in there. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Just a fish in a box. Sabrina's turn to try.
Yep, so I'm gonna just load my bite up here by grabbing a couple pickles first. Put it right on the fish. And then I'm gonna go in for a bite. See what I can get. Yeah, so like Luke said, a meatloaf texture to it. With the pickles, adds a little bit of sourness. Overall, kind of like a fishy flavor. So Khee tells me that this is a very original location, and at Christmas time, you'll see people lining up to get this at Christmas time. It's really, really popular.
That is one very unique dish. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that, a fish meatloaf just in a box, but it's really popular. People are coming in and out of here just for takeaway. You could definitely share that with a lot of people, so Khee's actually gonna take it home and share it with her family. So after all those snacks, now we are heading to the Marikina public market. This city is really cool. It's very laid back feeling, even though we're still in Metro Manila. It's definitely not like Makati, which is the area we're staying in. It's much more relaxed and almost rural feeling. So heading into the public market now, really cool. So if you guys have been following the channel for any amount of time, you'll know that I am a sucker for local markets. This one is absolutely huge. I just love to see all around the world how the markets differ, and this one is massive. We're here about 11 a.m. now, so it's definitely not going in full swing, but there's still a lot to see, so we're gonna kind of check it out for a little bit.
Okay, this market is massive. It just keeps going and going, and then there's like different parts that have fish market, and then you'll see another part that has a fish market, and then fresh meat, and then fruits and vegetables. There is a jeepney inside this market. What? That's how big this place is. The jeepney just goes right through it. I think we're exiting now. Khee's leading us somewhere else. This is awesome. So I have the FoodieMommaPH tour bag. So with every tour you get one of these bags, and it's full of Filipino treats and chocolates.
Well, don't give it away.
Oh yeah, okay. It's actually a surprise.
So we're at our next restaurant. They allowed us to come in the kitchen here, and this is one serious kitchen. They are frying up huge slabs of pork and also tons of lumpia. I think we're gonna be ordering some sort of fried noodle. So we're just checking out the kitchen first. We're really friendly people once again. We're sitting down now. We just watched them frying up all the different ingredients. We have a massive plate of these fried noodles. Looks very similar to like Chinese style fried noodles. The one key ingredient here is the lechon kawali, which is the fried pork belly with a super crispy skin. And then I see some cabbage, I see some carrots, I see some onions, and there's two different types of noodles. So there's one that's a little thinner than the other and one that's thick. So let's put some of this on my plate here. And also, something that I'm really loving about the Philippines is that every table has some calamansis and some chilies. So let me grab one of these calamansi, squeeze a little bit of that, just gives it a nice kind of sour citrusiness, and these look pretty good. Yum. Who would have known that fried noodles go so well with calamansi? I've never put it on my fried noodles, I don't think, before. But the noodles are really smoky, and the texture of the two different ones is really interesting because one's a little bit more firm and one's a little bit more slippery. Let me go in here and try to find a piece of the lechon kawali. Oh yeah, here we go. So they're frying up massive chunks of this stuff out back. Let's try that. I'll chase it with a little bit of the noodles. These are some seriously good fried noodles. Really smoky, really porky, and honestly, this is like 2 a.m. drunk food heaven. And with that calamansi, if you've never had it, it's like a cross between an orange. I'd say the flavor's more like an orange, but then it's got the sourness of like a lime. So it goes really nice with these savory noodles. All right, finished off with another food. Man, that was really good. We are getting quite stuffed though, so we had to pack that one up to take home with us. And actually we're heading to our last restaurant of our last day here in the Philippines, which is a little bit of a sad thought. And I know what you're thinking already if you're Filipino, or even if you're not, that we didn't eat balut. I know, but it's okay, because we're already planning our next trip back, probably to Cebu. We're not really sure yet, but I promise it'll be the first thing I eat when I come back to the Philippines next time. Another thing I want to do in the Philippines next time is ride one of those jeepneys. I didn't get to try it this time, so definitely next time. They're so loud though. So we're at our last final stop. It looks like we've got a little cooking demonstration set up for us here, so I'm not exactly sure what we're gonna see, but let's see. What are we cooking here?
So we are cooking 2 dishes for this afternoon. These are 2 Marikina specialties.
Okay.
This is for everlasting, and this is wak na toy. Both are pork dishes. Steam it for 45 minutes.
Okay.
This is the finished product.
Okay. So we just had a lovely demonstration by the chef. She produced 2 Marikina specialties. So this first one, I can definitely pronounce the name. This is called Everlasting. So it's sort of like a meatloaf, and it's been twice cooked. So first sauteed and then steamed. And then Khee, what do we call this one here?
We call this wak na toy.
Wak na toy.
It's like a variation of menudo, but it's cooked with, it's pork stew with pickles, carrots, and potatoes.
Okay, yeah, so pretty much the same ingredients, but just prepared in a different way. So let's start with the Everlasting. To be honest, I've never seen like a meatloaf style dish in Asia other than the fish we had earlier and now this one, so let's try it. So the dominant flavor for me there is the tomato paste that she puts in it. It's like a sweeter style tomato paste, I think. The texture is really airy. What do you think? It's good?
Yeah, it's soft.
And the chorizo, there's like little bits of chorizo in there, and they're sort of chewy compared to the actual pork itself. So we've got, yeah, pretty much the same ingredients as I mentioned. I'm gonna grab a piece of this chorizo here, and this pork has been nicely tenderized. Oh, that's awesome. I think I prefer that one because it's served like nice piping hot, but also because it's quite like saucy and saturated, and that pork has been really tenderized nicely.
And very meaty too.
So I think one of the most interesting ingredients in this dish is a pickle. So the pickle actually gets cooked in the process, which I think is brand new to me. So I'm gonna try cooked pickle. It's like a sweeter pickle.
That was super, super cool. Both of those dishes really interesting. You can definitely tell that there's Spanish influence in those dishes, and just today has been incredible. Marikina is definitely a place you should consider visiting when visiting Metro Manila. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today's episode and for the series here in the Philippines. once again, thank you to Khee, the legend, for showing us around. Subscribe to her, guys, and if you're coming to Marikina, check her out for her tours. You can get her email down in the description box. Thank you, Khee.
Thank you so much.
You are a lifesaver.
Thank you.
It has been an incredible trip, and we already can't wait to come back again. Hopefully Cebu next time, and as I promised, we will both be eating balut right away next time. So thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.